Welcome to the Retirement Guy Podcast with Gary Alden from the Kingwood Investment Group. In this podcast, we educate people in or near retirement so they can make informed decisions and bridge the confidence gap. Learn how to mitigate risk in retirement so you don't run out of money before you run out of you. Join Gary Alden and explore strategies on how to live a stress-free retirement.
Hello and welcome to the Retirement Guy Podcast with Gary Alden from Kingwood Investment Group. Today, Gary is going to be talking about how to get more income in retirement and pay less taxes, which sounds like a fantastic idea. Hello, Gary. How are you?
We are just terrifically peachy keen this morning, Eric. How are you?
I can't top that. I'm doing good, but I don't know about peachy keen and all that fantastic stuff. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah, well, I am too. And like you said, we're going to be talking today about how to get more income in retirement and then pay less taxes. As a little bit disclaimer before we start talking to this, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things today, cutting taxes and so forth. Mm-hmm. But again, we want to remind everybody, please consult with your financial advisor, your tax professional, your legal professional when doing any kind of tax, legal, or retirement planning.
Absolutely.
Everything we're talking about on our podcast is general in nature. So make sure and talk to your professional in whatever area we're talking about today to make for sure you're on the right page and doing the right thing in your particular circumstance.
Better yet, talk to Gary and his team.
There you go. That's even better.
All right. Now that that's out of the way, what are we doing?
Okay. First off, I'm going to ask you a question, Eric. You didn't know I'm going to quiz you today.
Oh, boy. I'm ready.
Eric, what is ROI?
That would be return on investment.
You are exactly correct. As Ed McMahon would tell Johnny Carson, you are correct, sir. It is return on investment, but that's why you're accumulating assets. Mm-hmm. We're talking about retirement. And when you're in retirement, you're also concerned about ROI, but you're concerned about a different ROI. Now you're concerned about reliability of income. Reliability, stuff that's going to be there no matter what. So the most common thing that most people are going to have in retirement that's reliable is their Social Security check. And maybe a few people out there, only about 15% of the population, they're also going to have maybe a pension check in addition to that Social Security check. So there's two ROIs, reliable income sources in retirement.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about some of those today, but also we're going to be talking about how do we reduce taxes. There's a little organization in Washington, D.C. called the Internal Revenue Service. Some people call him Uncle Sam. He's not your uncle. He's not real friendly. He looks at everything in black and white, and he wants his money. Mm-hmm. He has no sense of humor. And he wants to tax a good share of your hard-earned savings that you spent 30, 40, 50 years saving up, and now he wants to tax you. Mm-hmm. But we want to go against that guy, and we want to pay our fair share. We don't want to do anything illegal. But I want more money in my pocket and less money in his pocket in retirement. So I want to have more, I want to keep more, and I want to make it last, say, to age 100. Now, some people are going to say, Gary, I'm not going to live to age 100. First time somebody ever really told me that, I said, hey, let's plan to age 100. And the guy sitting across the table from me, he says, Gary, I'm not going to live that long. I said, great. We'll call him Bob. I said, great, Bob. Tell me when you're going to die. And that makes retirement planning real easy.
Yeah.
Because if you retire at 65, you're going to die at 75. You're going to live 10 years. We'll take your money, divide it by 10. Real easy. We don't even have to do any planning. But what if you live? What if your wife outlives you, which is, and spouses, the wife is normally going to outlive the husband. Mm-hmm. What if you live? Everybody out there deserves to enjoy their retirement. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to have to worry about the stock market when I retire. I don't want to have to get up in the morning and look at my wife and decide whether we can go out to eat that day or go to a movie or do something fun based on whether the stock market is up or down. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have to worry about the unexpected. There's too many unexpected things in life, and one of them I don't want to have to worry about is the stock market. Simple as that. Well, One of the things we said we were going to talk about today is how to reduce taxes. Most common thing that virtually everybody can do out there that has an IRA is maybe taking your IRA and convert all or part of it to a Roth. Now, is it going to maybe cost you some money? Yeah, it's going to cost you some money, but we have a little thing. What do we call that? The national debt. Ever heard of that, Eric?
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
And I think it's over $20 trillion, $21 trillion, and it goes up every single day. Now, if the government debt is going up every single day, one of these days, my brain says the government's going to have to pay off that debt, and where are they going to get the money? Where do you think they're going to get the money, Eric?
Yeah, I don't even want to. I don't want to hazard a guess, but I'm pretty sure my Social Security might not be there when I get to that point.
Oh, I think Social Security is going to be there, but they might tax it more.
Oh, that's true.
The government basically can only do two things, and they can either raise our taxes or cut spending. And, when you give money to politicians in Washington, it's like giving your teenage boy the keys to the car and a bottle of whiskey.
Oh, jeez.
Probably not too much good is going to come of that. So we know they're probably going to raise taxes on us in the future. So we need to outsmart them and maybe convert our money to a Roth IRA today, which is never going to be taxed. So we can take forever tax money. They're always going to tax your IRA, convert it from forever taxed over to never taxed. Now, we also want to talk about minimizing risk today and also income for life, and we're going to get to those topics in a couple of minutes. But one thing I want to remind everybody about, because this just happened a couple of weeks ago here in my office, one of my long time clients, been a client of ours probably 18 to 20 years, he passed away suddenly of a freak accident. I mean, he wasn't sick or anything, just a freak accident, passed away. After everything settled down, I got his wife here into the office, and we went through her particular situation. And she has three issues. One, she lost the love of her life, so she has emotional loss, very distressed. Number two, her income or family income just went down because we lost one of the two Social Security checks. But what I sat down and did with her, I got with one of my two CPAs here in the office, and we did a hypothetical tax return based on just, we'll call her Mary, just on Mary paying taxes now as a single person. Now think about it. She just lost the love of her life. Income in the house went down because we lost the Social Security check, but her actual taxes would go up $11,000 a year.
Oh, my gosh.
Because she's now filing singly instead of jointly.
Yeah.
And I call that the widow's tax. A lot of people don't think about it, but it really is a tax. It's a tax on a widow because you're now filing singly instead of jointly. And that is a big concern to women out there because every year about 800,000 people in the United States lose a spouse. 700,000 of the 800,000, it's women losing their husband. And the average length of widowhood in the United States is 14 years.
Wow.
So you've got to make sure your money lasts a long time. And again, the best thing you can do is get tax-free income. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because that was kind of top of mind because that happened to one of my favorite clients here just recently. But, if we were making up a wish list for retirement, I would write down, I literally made this up one day and I wrote down, I want to either eliminate or reduce taxes. I want to minimize Social Security. I want to minimize stock market risk. I would like guaranteed income for life, and even better, I'd like guaranteed income for life tax-free. I'd like more certainty about my income. I'd like to access my money when I want to. I want to control my money. And one way all of us don't get to control our money is money that's in a regular IRA account. When you hit 70.5, you have to start taking money out of your RMD. Out of your IRA account, and it's called an RMD. It's required minimum distribution. Mm-hmm. You have to start at age 70.5, whether you want to or not. If you forget to take money out of your IRA account, again, the government has no sense of humor. They charge a 50% penalty on any money that you don't take out of your IRA in a timely fashion.
Holy cow.
Plus, on top of the 50%, you have to pay your normal taxes. So let's say you're in a 25% bracket, you don't take your RMD, 50% penalty, 25% normal taxes. The government only wants 75% of your RMD. Hey, that's fair. If they get 75, you get 25.
Yeah.
So bottom line, don't forget to do your RMD. The other thing, I want some growth of my money because I want more, not less in retirement. Now, that's a nice wish list. Can you have it all? I think you can, but it's not going to be for free, and you've got to do some planning. There's an old saying out there that free cheese is only found in a mousetrap. Mm-hmm. There's always a catch. So you need a plan to get more income in retirement by paying less taxes. You need a plan, then you need to put that plan into action. So I ask people lots of times, because nearly everybody retiring, they've had their money in a 401k plan and they've been investing in a bunch of mutual funds inside that 401k plan. And I ask them, what's the biggest expense in their mutual fund? And most people will say, well, it's the fee the company charges to run the mutual fund, and that's usually about 1 to 2% per year, and that's right. But that's not the big expense in a mutual fund. Your biggest expense in your mutual fund is taxes. Because when you go to sell that mutual fund to create income in retirement, Uncle Sam is sitting there with his hand out saying, I want my share. And if you're in the 20%, 25%, 33% tax bracket, they're getting a quarter, a third of your hard-earned money. So again, one way of getting rid of Uncle Sam holding out his hand, convert your IRA to a Roth IRA. Is it going to cost you some money? Pay some taxes up front? Yes. But how about paying a little bit of taxes up front to save a lot of money for the rest of your life? Also, a couple of other threats to your retirement besides taxes. There's stock market risk, there's longevity risk, inflation risk, healthcare risk. There's lots of risk out there. But if you ask people what they think their number one concern is in retirement, these are done by national surveys. They do them every year, and every year the number one concern of retirees, it's always the same: running out of money. And it is a concern. It's got to be in the top of your mind.
Absolutely.
So when we sit down and do planning, we try to develop a plan so people, one, don't run out of money, and then number two, hey, let's pay less taxes on that money so you got more of it. So if you have these goals in mind, like we just talked about, more money in retirement, less taxes, it's going to take some change on your part. You can't just sit back and wish it to happen. You've got to go out there and do some changes to how you've been doing things. Sometimes I get somebody say, at my age, you can do changes at any age. We've done changes for people in their late 80s. We actually did a change on one of my single, he's one of my single gentlemen that's old, and his wife passed away before him. At age 90, we did tax planning because he wants to pass more money down to his kids and really more money to his grandkids, and pay less taxes on that. And sometimes change is good. You know, if you went to see the doctor today, and Eric, you went to see the doctor today, and the doctor says, Eric, you've got heart disease, and if you don't make some changes to your exercise and diet, you're going to die in 12 months. What do you think you might do, Eric?
Pray, freak out a little bit, and then make some serious changes.
There you go. Maybe the doctor says, hey, here's your exercise regimen. Here's what you need to be eating. Here's a pill you need to take. Here's some things you need to do. I bet you would go out there and make changes.
Yeah, and whether it has to do with health or finances, the biggest thing is discipline, right? I mean, self-discipline to be able to accomplish it.
There you go. So some people can do it themselves. Most people, you're going to need some help with your financial advisor, your tax advisor, your attorney, because, again, you want to get more money in retirement, and you want to get it from that forever tax column, like an IRA, 401k plan, over to the never tax column, like a Roth account. Now, there's three ways you can get a Roth. One is just open a Roth IRA account, put money in every month, every year. You can also, a lot of companies now have Roth 401k plans. In fact, the U.S. government has Roth 401k plan. Now, is there a catch there? Yeah, that money is now after-tax money, so you're paying some money up front. But I don't know about you. I would rather pay some taxes on the seed than pay taxes on the crop, because that's what you're going to do in a normal IRA or 401k plan. So I'd rather pay a little bit of taxes now on maybe the dollar I put in the day to avoid paying taxes on, say, the $40 or $50 it's grown to 20, 30 years down the line. Then the other thing that everybody out there can do, no matter what your income bracket is to take an existing IRA, convert it to a Roth. Maybe going to cost you a little bit of money on taxes, but also you don't have to do it all at once. I have several clients that we convert a little bit of their IRA account every year over to a Roth. So we kind of spread out the tax bite so it doesn't hit us all at once.
Seems pretty flexible.
No, it is. Now, we've got to, here we're talking about repositioning. So you got to reposition some of your money into a Roth to avoid taxes later. I call that you're buying tax insurance. So I don't have to pay taxes down the road. You can also put money into annuities, and that gives you income for life. Now, one of the first things that I hear from people when I mention annuities to them, I get pushback, and they say, well, I've heard all those ads on the radio or TV, but that annuities are bad. But think about who's running those ads. Those guys are professional money managers. They want to take your hard-earned savings and put it in the stock market, where there's a whole bunch more risk. Annuities are competition to those guys. They don't want you putting an annuity because if it's in an annuity, they don't have it and they can't charge you a fee to manage your money. Nothing wrong with having some money in the stock market. We're just saying a portion of your money, we believe, for most people, should be an annuity that gives you guaranteed income for life so you don't have to worry about that income and makes life go a lot easier in retirement. Now, we know there's always going to be unexpected things happening to you out there. The stock market goes down like it did in 2008, like nearly 40%. Your spouse dies unexpectedly. Your car dies. You got to have a new roof on the house. There's always stuff happening against you out there that you can't control. But certain things you can control, and that is repositioning money into a Roth, get income for life with an annuity, make some changes out there. Because you want your plan. You don't want the government's plan. The government's plan is they want you to keep that money in the IRA account, the 401k plan, so they can tax you down the road. And the biggest obstacle that you have that separates you and your retirement savings is taxes. I don't know about you, Eric, but I believe it's better to have money in my pocket than the government's pocket.
Of course.
And I'll tell you a secret, Eric. I don't tell this to everybody. Keep this between you and me. The IRS is in it for the money.
What?
Yeah, go figure.
How could that be?
So we want to take the tax code and make it work for you, not against you. You always want to pay taxes at the very lowest rates as possible. Now, again, I want to bring this up again. It's a 4-letter word, and it's spelled M-A-T-H. That spells math. The federal government is broke. We've got this huge national debt, and one of these days, we're going to have to pay the piper, and that's called increased taxes. Unless the government cuts spending, which I don't think they're going to do anytime soon, we're going to have the government's going to raise taxes on us, and you want your money positioned so you're not going to get slammed when that happens. The other thing that a lot of people don't think about, and I have this happen every few years, a client calls me up and they said, hey, Gary, my Medicare Part B and my Medicare Part D prescription drug plan went up. Why did that go up? And that went up because you had to take so much money out of your 401k plan or IRA account because of the required minimum distributions when you hit 70.5. The more income you have, the higher potential charges there is for your Medicare Part B and Medicare Part D. A lot of people don't realize that Medicare is means tested. So the fee that you pay for your Part B and your Part D is based on your overall income. So all of a sudden, I had one of my clients, his RMD was over $80,000, pushed him to a higher tax bracket, which caused the domino effect. Now he's got to pay more for Part B and Part D. So remember, there are no RMDs from a Roth IRA account, so you eliminate that issue.
Good to know.
There you go. Now, IRAs, 401k plans are tax deferred. They're not tax free. Now, I think most people listening to this podcast understand that. But I had a gentleman works for a very, very high-tech company out in, actually he's in California, so there are lots of them out there, so it doesn't identify him. But I'm doing his plan, and he didn't understand tax deferred meant that he was going to have to pay taxes someday. He equated tax deferred in it. He was never going to have to pay taxes on his 401k plan. So that was a rude awakening. Here's a very smart man, couple of college degrees, on the number 3 man at a household name technology company that virtually everybody in America knows and maybe uses on a daily basis, and he didn't know that simple fact. So again, 2 big ways to get tax-free money in retirement. One is Roth IRAs, Roth 401k plans that we've talked about. And the other one is tax-free life insurance. The single biggest benefit in the U.S. tax code is tax-free permanent life insurance. Most people don't understand this. A properly constructed life insurance plan can not only give you tax-free income in retirement, it can also provide lifetime income in retirement if properly constructed. Life insurance is a powerful, powerful tool in retirement that most people don't take advantage of. My clients, we take advantage of it when we can.
Okay, Gary, that's a whole nother podcast. We need to definitely break that out. Can we do that as a podcast?
Oh, yes. Yes, we can.
Okay.
Eric, I don't know if you noticed this morning, there's an 800-pound gorilla in the room. He's over there in the corner. He's lurking. It's called long-term care.
Ah, yes.
And it's in the back of every retiree's mind. If it's not there, it should be there. There are some new life insurance policies that, again, properly constructed, can provide you long-term care.
All right.
That's pretty good benefit.
Yeah, that's good news.
And you don't have to go out and get a separate long-term care policy. And if you don't use it, it doesn't cost you any extra money. If you use it, hey, it's a good benefit for you. Also, certain annuity contracts will, let's just say you're getting $3,000 a month from an annuity. If you go in a long-term care facility, they'll double that amount for, say, up to 5 years or however long you're in the long-term care facility. So there's a couple of ways to pay for long-term care without going out and buying the traditional long-term care policy.
Got it.
So taxes probably going to increase in retirement due to higher tax rate in the future. Also, you're having to start take RMDs out of your accounts. So we all want to get income in retirement that we can't outlive. We know we can't outlive Social Security. If you got a pension from a company, they guarantee that for life. But you also don't want to be subject to the ups and downs of the stock market money. And I call the income that you're going to get every month, say from an annuity or from a life insurance contract, mailbox money. Have you ever gone out to the mailbox, Eric, and you open up the mailbox and there's an unexpected check?
I have. That's very nice.
And you open it up. We just got one last week. We got a $59 check from some stock market lawsuit, and we got $59 back. So unexpected. We didn't even remember it. Happened years and years ago. We got $59, so we got $59 more dollars than we had 2 weeks ago.
That's nice.
Everybody loves going to mailbox and getting mailbox money. So an annuity will give you that every single month. You get the check no matter what. Also, life insurance can be constructed the same way to give you mailbox money. And again, if you had that annuity inside a Roth account, it's tax-free. And again, properly constructed life insurance can also give you tax-free money. Eric, have you ever heard the secret to success in real estate is location, location, location?
I've heard that a few times, yes.
Well, the secret to successful retirement, to me, is income, income, income. Income in retirement is vastly more important than savings. Savings can run out. Income, properly constructed in retirement, gives you guarantees and a lot less risk. So let's just say I've got this is a real client. They were in a couple of weeks ago, they're getting ready to retire and their house is paid for, the kids are gone, no mortgages, no car payments, no nothing. They say they would like $6,000 a month in retirement after tax, spendable money in their pocket. And that's going to cover monthly expenses, which are about $3,500 a month. And that gives them disposable income to take some trips, go out and eat more, go to plays, have fun stuff.
Yeah.
Now their Social Security and a pension for them combined, 2 Social Security checks and a small pension, it's about $4,000 a month. They want $6,000, so they've got a $2,000 a month gap. We simply went out, bought an annuity that gives them guaranteed lifetime income of $2,000 a month. And this particular annuity also has a rising income feature that will give them more income in the future to combat inflation, because we all know the price of a loaf of bread, jug of wine is going to go up in the future.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got all their expenses that they're going to need covered. So the money that they do have in the stock market, they don't really have to worry about that. If the stock market goes up or down, they can still go out to eat today, go to a movie, enjoy their vacations. They don't have to worry.
That's great.
So, because I have a lot of people that are afraid to spend their money. They're out there hoarding their money because they think something bad's going to happen, and something bad may happen out there. There are those unexpected things that happen in life, and it happened in the economy, and it happened to the government. So we don't have to worry about that if we've got everything covered with guaranteed income, say from an annuity or from a life insurance policy. So bottom line on all this, Eric, we've now given you, if you kind of look back everything we've talked about this morning, we've given you a plan to help you reduce taxes, maybe eliminate taxes, get guaranteed lifetime income from maybe an insurance policy or an annuity contract, and maybe it's all tax-free.
That would be great.
But there's one thing missing from the plan, Eric. Can you think what it might be?
I don't know, but I bet you're going to tell me, Gary.
It's real easy. You got to take some action.
True.
You can't just sit there and listen to our podcast here today and say, hey, that was nice. That was interesting. And then you go along with your daily life. Yeah. Listening is not action.
True.
You need to get with your financial advisor. If you don't have one, give us a call, make an appointment. We'll sit down and make you a complimentary plan. Keyword in that sentence is complimentary. We don't charge you for the plan. We'll show you, we always are totally upfront. We show you all the costs, expenses. Also, we always show you, here's the good thing, here's the bad thing. Every investment that there is has good points and bad points. I always bring up CDs, and people say, well, CDs are guaranteed by the bank and then by the government if the bank should fail, and that's true. The good thing about a CD is it's guaranteed. But Eric, can you think what the bad thing is there about a CD?
I don't think you make much off a CD, do you?
You got to make squat, and that's on purpose. Whatever inflation is, CDs always run normally under inflation. So if inflation's running at 3, banks are probably paying you 2. Inflation's running at 6, they're probably paying you 5. It's always going to be under inflation, so your money's really going backwards. It's not even keeping up with the costs of, again, loaf of bread, jug of wine, movie ticket, whatever. Yeah. Now, you could not consult a financial advisor. You could do it yourself. You could also do brain surgery yourself. Get a mirror and a little scalpel, a little knife, and go do town. It yourself. I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah. But could you do it? Sure. And there are do-it-yourselfers out there. But Vanguard did a study several years ago, and we've got a copy at my office. You can call us. We'll happy to send it to you. But this is Vanguard, the big mutual fund company, and it lists all the things that a good financial advisor, if they're doing this for you, how much it's worth. And it comes up to around 3%. So according to Vanguard, working with a financial advisor saves you 3% on your investments. That's a pretty good deal. So anyway, again, don't recommend doing it yourself. Get you a good financial advisor, a good tax advisor, develop a plan, but then put the plan into action.
Yeah, the other thing, like you said, Gary, you've got to contact an advisor. But more importantly, the plan is great. implementing it is great, but a good advisor is going to walk with you on this path. They're going to be that accountability that everybody needs.
Yeah, they're going to hold your hand throughout retirement.
Yeah,
because you only retire once. You need to do it right, and you need to do it right by paying less taxes and getting more secure income. And bottom line, the more you plan, the more you keep.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Gary, so much for your time today.
Yes, sir. Enjoyed it.
All right. And thank you all for listening to the Retirement Guy podcast with Gary Alden. If you have not subscribed to the podcast yet, please click the subscribe now button below. This way, when Gary comes out with a new podcast, it'll show up directly on your listening device. It also makes it much easier to share these podcasts with your friends and family. Again, thank you for listening. For everyone at Kingwood Investment Group, this is Eric Johnson reminding you to live your best day every day. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Retirement Guy podcast. Click the subscription button below to be notified when new episodes become available. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Kingwood Investment Group. The content has been made available for information and education purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions that you may have regarding your investment planning. Kingwood Investment Group is independent of Next Financial Group, Inc. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Next Financial Group, Inc., member FINRA/SIPC.